One little kind of minor detail, these are chaos flags. So, one of the first things we're going to be looking for here is what we determine to be the wet noodle, the easiest to kill enemy, which will give you some experience and hopefully not be too hard to kill. So let's see what the first 3 items are here in the throne room.
All right, we have a torch to light the way in the caves. We've got the silver harp, one of the essential items. We'll get more to that in a moment here. And the obligatory magic key to get outside, although we'll see if there's a spell. Nope, no spell to get on out. And looks like 9 strength to start here, so not terrible, but not great either.
And immediately we have Ryguy and Thilotilo finding a town which is coal. All right, so let's see what we have here in the coal search spot. Do we have a minute Erdrick's armor? We have the fairy flute.
In its vanilla location.
So let's see what we have here. We have a silver shield for 49 gold. That's pretty nice.
In chaos mode, one of the things that is randomized is the prices of the weapon and armor shop, and the silver shield, the best shield in the game, normally costing 14,800 gold. With a price of 49, I'm pretty sure that is the Jim Perry sale of the seed.
Indeed. So, there's really no reason for any of our runners here to not get themselves a silver shield, but, that'll come with time. Right now, we are looking for the wet noodle, the easiest to kill monster. This slime certainly has the potential. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, it's hard to say. As our runners are looking for an enemy to take out here, it'll give me a chance to let you know all about who has a knight taking out Captain Green there, and Axe Knight taking out Scorpion, and a slime too. Man, there's a lot of death going on here. That is sure.
That's kind of expected in a chaos seed. A lot of early deaths. The slime is definitely not the noodle. By definition, the wet noodle will have 5 HP or less, and Tilo landed an excellent move for 8 damage and did not kill the slime.
And yes, now for what all is going on here, the object of Dragon Warrior is for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. They'll need to collect certain key items, one of which they've already gotten from the throne room, to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow the runners to enter Charlotte Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. They will also be fighting enemies one at a time, as you see here, and they'll be gaining experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And since this is Randomania, we got quite a bit that's randomized. As you see the overworld map, it's a lot different than Alfgar that you know from the original game. Also the treasure chest contents and search spot contents, although the fairy flute was in its vanilla location this time around. The locations of the towns and caves, as well as the contents of the weapon and armor shops. The order of spells that are learned, though they're guaranteed to learn all 10 spells by level 16. The locations of the enemies, as you see a wraith there taking out Thilotilo, and the enemy spells and abilities. So you can see, for example, slimes with Dragon Lord Chew Breath as a possibility. And, well, the Dragon Lord has a little special extra twist with Chaos here, as Captain Green now finding a cave.
It looks like we have Swamp North here, and Captain Green's going to try to get through it to get to Swamp South, and he does, and gets on another continent where we have a very close by town, and we have Hawksness.
The abandoned town with enemies and a guarded search spot. But it's going to be a little while before we find out who that is.
So we have 2 interesting points here that have kind of been touched upon by chat at 2 different times. Number 1, we have 184 experience points to get from level 1 to level 2. That's, at first that sounds like, oh my god, it's a lot, but it's entirely possible that the so-called wet noodle could have easily that much, if not more. The other thing that's been noted several times in chat here is it's entirely possible that the scorpion we've seen several times in this seed so far, it could be the wet noodle. Problem with that is the scorpion does appear to have sufficient less strength as to be quite willing to run away from our runners. So this could be a very slow starter here.
And the reason for the 184, you think, well, why 184? That is a bit of a strange number. That is the added twist to chaos that is here. In that, as you saw, the weapon and armor shop prices are randomized. The enemy statistics are randomized. So their strength, their agility, their hit points, their experience, and their gold are all shaken up, as well as the amount of experience to go from one level to the next. And then, of course, there's that Dragon Lord, which in the vanilla version of the game has 130 hit points, and in the standard Dragon Warrior randomizer has anywhere between 150 to 165. But here in Chaos, oh boy, Dragon Lord can have anywhere from 100 hit points to 230 and has the ability to cast either Sleep or Heal. And Betastrep noting in chat that the noodle enemy, which the way that the noodle works is one monster in the beginning 3 zones of the game is guaranteed, as mentioned, to have 5 hit points or less, and has usually 5 strength or less as well. So they're looking for an enemy that does minimal damage and can stick around here. But as noted, it looks like that Scorpion might be the one here, but man.
It certainly fits all the qualifications. We have Ryguy that actually took one down for 44 experience. So it looks like he's going to take down a second.
With a critical hit, and man, still has a couple more to go. And you can see up on Tilo's screen noting the officially requesting reseed. Now, that request would actually go to the restreamer here to throw out to the other runners to keep an interest of fairness, so that way none of our runners necessarily know which individual had placed the request. All they know is that at least one of the runners are having troubles, and thus far in the early going here, well, in terms of experience, Ryguy has the lead, but this is a definitely challenging start, to say the least.
Yeah, indeed. Something else to keep in mind here, that Ryguy picked up an herb and a silver shield. So, killing those 2 scorpions gave Ryguy enough to possibly, get a level here relatively quickly, and not necessarily just by using the scorpion here. I mean, we've seen that these slimes are, relatively easy to hit, and with the silver shield, the slimes aren't going to be hitting for much at all. So it could very well be that maybe a slime has a high amount of experience coming up.
Well, a knight, not quite one that we'll find out, as Ryguy finding out here, and Captain Green trying to utilize the Silver Harp. Now, in the vanilla version of the game, when you play the Silver Harp, one of 5 different enemies appears. Here it pulls from a very interesting pool, to say the least, so you don't know what enemy you'll necessarily get. It may be one in the zone. I'm not sure if it's one out of the zone necessarily. I will admit I haven't used the Silver Harp that much in the randomizer to be able to know the specific nuances of it.
I'm not 100% certain, but I thought I remember seeing, I think it was McGrew saying that the harp deals from one of the underground sets. I want to say it's level 2 of the grave, possibly, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Tilo has found a metal scorpion that hits extremely hard and is taking a death, and, well, thankfully half of 0 gold is 0, losing anything in that regard except a little bit of time.
So we could have quite the slap fight going on down here in Ryguy's battle here. He has found one of those slimes that don't hit particularly hard. 1 to 2 damage. Question is Ryguy going to do enough damage to kill the slime before the slime kills him? That's going to be the question.
Well, it's a lot of coin flips just to get one hit point across. And even then, for all we know, this slime could have 97 hit points, and Ryguy will just run out of resources here.
It's entirely possible.
Last hit, and then Ryguy, well, ended up using up the herb and is now out of gold and out of resources. Now, I saw Captain was in coal for a moment. And we've got a reset on Captain Green's side. Ryguy now looking for the Metal Scorpion, and definitely not one to mess with. And same with the Axe Knight as well, both hitting for 30+ hit points.
Poltergeist with Hurt More. Now, here's a new enemy. We haven't seen a Stone Man yet.
Well, hitting for 7 at a time when you only have 10 hit points, not likely to two-shot it there.
All right, Ryguy versus Slime. Nope. Ryguy's like, nope.
And Pyrolite making the interesting point that it is 7 damage with the Silver Shield. Anybody else, if it were any of our other runners who haven't quite picked it up yet, they would be one shot.
I'm a little... Oh, here we go. We have a Silver Harp being played here on Thilotilo side.
Oh, it's a red dragon. It's something different, but it hits, and it is very much like the Fun Police, where it is known. And the red dragon, at least in the vanilla and standard randomizer, known as the Fun Police, because whenever they show up, the fun tends to stop. Although I don't think the fun is necessarily most of our run.
I am a little interested to see that none of our runners have even tried the enemies in the Swamp Cave.
And Tilo flashing up the requesting reseed once again to a Magidrake. And we've got a cast hurt and punches for more than Scorpion has, even with max hit points. Now, in terms of previous Chaos races that came along the way, we've got
All right, we're still kind of looking for our first kill here. Well, I shouldn't say first kill, but our first level. The only one of our runners right now that has managed one successful kill is Ryguy, who's actually managed 2 Oh, we have Scorpion Max taking on a Scorpion. Will the Scorpion hang around long enough in order to allow itself to be killed, I guess, is the question.
That is quite an allowance. And it does.
All right, so Scorpion gets one down. Now the question is, can he get a second down before dying? Nope. Because 2 Scorpion kills on 1 life would enable somebody to go get the Silver Shield, just like Ryguy. Oh, we have a Breckenary find here on Captain Green's side. What do we have here? We have a Flame Sword for 157 gold. So we've got the Flame Sword and the Silver Shield very cheap. Problem is, you can't really have can't really fight.
And I have to admit, in all the times that I've heard you commentate or commentated with you, that's the most excited that I've heard you exclaim to see Breckenary.
Well, in a Chaos Seed such as this, especially one, oh look, Ghosts have fire. Especially one where these runners are struggling mightily to get the heck out of level 1, this is definitely a thing to find. Maybe there is an insanely cheap something or other in Breckenary, and turns out there is.
In this case, an insanely inexpensive weapon, just not quite as good of a price as the Silver Shield. But what they need is some offense in some capacity. So deaths on Scorpion's side with a death and reset.
To answer the question that Ferdy posed in chat, experience to level is randomized as well. Yes, it absolutely is. And as you can kind of see, it looked like there was 184 from level 1 to level 2, which is absolutely not anywhere near normal. Yeah, and Beta Strap just hit it right in the nail, right on the head here in chat, that saying that the random experience leveling can be great and it can be terrible. Yeah, absolutely, it can be both great and terrible. Because there are several times during the course of a Chaos Seed where you'll kill one enemy and go up 3, 4, 5 levels. The other night, we were watching a race. I wasn't commentating; I was watching it, and they went from level 19 to level 21 in the span of like 100.
Experience?
In the span of 100 experience. So, okay, and there's our second reseed request from Scorpion Max. So we now have 2 official reseed requests, one from Thilotilo, one from Scorpion Max.
And a great question in chat. Now, the statistics, there's an interesting note to the statistics in color, the statistics, I should say, in that, yes, when you show up red, they are below an average amount to start. Once they hit white, that is pretty much when you're making the climb. Later in the run of the game, you will see that they will go from white to orange, and that's kind of in the borderline range. And then when you see them at green, that means that particular stat is the green. Well, green means go. You learn that as a kid, and that definitely applies here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer here on Randomania.
Okay, we've gotten notification now that 3 of our 4 runners have actually requested or would be okay with a reseed. So now we just need the one more confirmation before a reseed can become a possibility.
Well, this is an interesting dynamic as the 3 racers who have been struggling the most have requested the reseed. Ryguy, who has a very slight advantage, and it's amazing to say that having the Silver Shield available, has not provided anything in terms of any kind of feedback for a potential reseed.
Okay, and I have gotten verification from one of the tourney admins that it does have to be indicated by all 4. We cannot approach them. So we shall see what happens from here.
I believe we were all researching the rules at the same time. So there are 3 who are looking, feeling that they've been running head first the better part of the last 22 minutes, and has a slight helmet on and running head first into a brick wall.
Well, Thilotilo is actually now exploring that second continent through the swamp cave, has found the town on the other side to be Hawksness, and now is just kind of wandering around, hopefully finding something that he can kill. We have Captain Green, getting run away from by a scorpion.
The Warlock was definitely not it, hitting for 39 and sending Tilo back. Now, I can assure you that not every seed is like this, but if you want to give Dragon Warrior Randomizer a try yourself, the link to acquire the randomizer is in the Twitch chat. And to join the Discord to pretty much participate in various races against other runners and be able to go from there. And well, there's also a section in the Discord of Seeds of Torture or Delight, which I have a hunch where this one is going to be filed at this point. You can certainly check that out as well. The Discord link is there in the Twitch chat. And to answer the question regarding the playoff format here for this first round of the playoffs, the top 2 in this race will move on, and those who finish in 3rd and 4th, they are eliminated. And we have a resident expert in chaos mode joining us in chat in High Spirits, who was the 2018 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament champion, and also is the number 1 seed in this Dragon Warrior Randomizer League playoffs here. Noting that in that tournament, there were racers who took anywhere upwards of 45 to 60 minutes just to get to the second level. And those were in some of the more brutal of the seeds.
Yeah, indeed. And I was part of that first Chaos tourney, and I believe one of my seeds was actually like that. I want to say it was my race against Ryguy3745 that I think it took me a good 40-45 minutes to get my first level. Now, Ryu had gotten his first level, I want to say 20-25 minutes into the seed, but by the time the race was an hour, I think it was about an hour in, we were dead even on levels. So, once we got that second level, the seed actually went pretty smoothly from there. So, that's got to be what right now our racers are hoping for here is that, once you get to level 2 or level 3, that the stat gains are such that, the seed will really start to level out a little bit. Even maybe level 2 has hurt more, right?
Potentially. And to answer Fertie's question in chat, yes, the 184 is definitely a lot of experience, as in the vanilla version of the game, it takes just 7 to get from level 1 to level 2.
Well, Ferdy, and you said with a low experience Noodle, as Beta Strep mentioned in chat earlier, the Noodle can only have between 16 and 64 experience. So, given that they had to get 184, I think is what it was, they would have had to have killed 4 scorpions.
Now, don't forget, coming up tomorrow evening here on the Randomania networks, I believe here on Randomania, is going to be another one of the 4 first-round playoff matches. It's going to be Group A. It's going to be High Spirit, Brysulf, Melee Wizard, and Shubinator. They are the 1, 8, 9, and 16 seeds, respectively. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Randomania, and at the rate we're going, we're going to throw you right on over to it at the conclusion of this race.
Scorpion Max does get his second Scorpion kill, so he and Ryguy are now level with 88 experience points. So I'm sorry, my math was a little wrong. They have to kill 5 Scorpions in order to get to level 2, and the Scorpions are running every other turn.
They're as evasive as metal slimes are in the vanilla version of the game.
And not nearly as rewarding.
Nope.
At least you kill a metal slime at early levels in vanilla, you know you're getting a few levels.
Well, standard randomizer, yeah. You're seldom going to see that in vanilla Dragon Warrior unless you're Nest Cardinality doing a run like he had done back in AGDQ a little while back. So Tilo finding a wolf and finding death along with it.
Captain Green? Nope, that's Scorpion run. To answer Mel Ridger's question in chat, what is the noodle? The noodle is a scorpion. The problem with the scorpion in this seed is that they run away quite frequently, as almost as frequently as a vanilla metal slime does. So yeah, our runners need a rather insane bit of luck just to kill one, and they have to kill 5 in order to get to level 2.
Well, Tilo has taken out an enemy and realizes that he's just a little bit short of the amount to get the silver shield. So he's going to head on up to the king, save up, and go from there.
Centroid bringing up an interesting question in chat. At what point would you reset and try for a different build, right? So all 4 of our runners are doing strength HP builds, right? So that means that their agility and MP start a little quote-unquote higher than is normal, and strength and HP, while they will eventually, turn out to be the favored build, they don't start that way. If they were to start with, an HP MP build or something along those lines, they would get a little boost of strength at the beginning. Might that be an option? Now, by little boost of strength, I mean, the most you're probably going to see is strength 11, but more than likely strength 10. Is that going to be enough to make that big of a difference? Yeah.
Now, there was a question in chat as far as the different, what the corresponding flags are. Now, I did create a list of them, but I have to figure out where. Yeah, I didn't exactly post it in a README type thing.
Tilo picking up a silver shield. So Tilo got 2 quick scorpion kills and has a silver shield. So now we have 3 of our 4 runners that have 2 scorpion kills of the 5 needed to get to level 2. Lavkian, yes, Ryguy did crit a slime and didn't kill it. Tilo's one of his first 2 fights in this seed was a slime, and he crit the slime for 8 and didn't kill it. Up to no good, commenting in chat. This is a test to see if Ferran and Z-Man can find more things to talk about after 34 minutes. Oh, don't challenge us to that. If you get us going, we won't stop talking. Now, will it be about Dragon Warrior? Probably not.
Oh no, I'm sure there will be a more than a swath of references to either game shows or perhaps professional wrestling. I can go for quite a while. We'll get some music references in there, old school classic music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm a broadcaster and professional, I'm a broadcast journalist and broadcasting radio entity in real life. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of ways that we can certainly fill the dead air here as we try to avoid the deaths.
All right, so now every one of our runners has a kill, as Captain Green has gotten his first kill. And he went immediately to go save, so he's hoping for another quick scorpion kill to go get his silver.
Now, in the midst of all of that, I was working on finding... So in chat here, there you see the different flag sets and what the particular flags mean. So in this case here, we have the shuffling of the chest and search items, the enabling of the death necklace, which, even though our runners have not found it yet, there's a little hitch to the death necklace where once you put it on, it's been added to the randomizer here, where it will give you 10 additional attack power, but at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit points. So that is enabled in this seed, as is the fast leveling. So 75% of what the standard vanilla version would be. There's also the randomization of growth. So that means the stat gains at each particular level up are randomized. Also, the spell learning is randomized. That's what M is for. The enemy attacks are randomized. That is what P is in the flag set. And you also have the menu wrapping, which allows you to, in a long list of menu items, you can just hit up to start at the bottom, as opposed to having to go all the way down from the top to the bottom. Additionally randomized, you've got the weapon shop contents, so you won't necessarily find what you would find in the vanilla version of the game. You could find a silver shield in Brecconary, for example. And then X is the dreaded chaos mode that we're dealing with here, and the letter Z is the enemy zones are randomized. So you could have a red dragon not too far away, especially here in chaos.
Oh, we have our third kill for Thilotilo. So Thilotilo jumps in front of the experience lead. Leaps even. Bounds.
Dare I say springs. Oh.
Picks up a little extra defense with that dragon scale.
Yes, the dragon scale for just 20 gold. You can put it on and you will gain 2 additional defense points. And even if you sell or get rid of the dragon scale, you still reap the benefits.
And then Tilo's like, wait, I got to spend the rest of my gold before I die, so let's get a couple torches.
Well, certainly a savvy move if you know that the gold is likely going to be lost. Oh, and there's the metal scorpion to prove that fruitful.
To my knowledge, Max and Captain Green do not have a shield. I know, well, Captain Green hasn't had enough kills for a shield, and I'm pretty darn sure Scorpion Max's 2 kills came quite a number of deaths apart. So I don't think either one of them has actually gotten 2 kills on one death, so as to be able to afford the silver shield. So I am pretty sure our death count, our COD count here, is well over 100 now between our 4.
Yeah, I haven't seen this many screens flashing with deaths and winner none since the end of the movie War Game.
It was a good movie.
It was very, very underrated. One of the early movies in Matthew Broderick's career. It was 3 years before Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I was going to say that was an early '80s movie, War Games, and that was, it was one of the more well done movies, especially in that generation of John Hughes.
Yeah, that was 1983. I wonder if any of our runners in their post-game chat will say a strange game, the only winning move is not to play. And thank you, chat, for adding various various War Games quotes. Ancient 75 hitting one of the ones that I immediately go to. Thank you, General Behringer, for that.
Night Dew, welcome to this thing. This is indeed a thing.
And an interesting point, is it considered spoilers if for a movie that is 36 years old?
I'm pretty sure we're out of spoiler territory if the movie is 30 some odd years old. Night Dew, yes, 49 gold silver shield in a town very near the start.
And
High Spirits, you've had plenty of time to see this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, that's your own darn fault.
it is certainly a goodie.
All the time. Since the early 80s, you've been busy the entire time.
Who would have thought that a War Games discussion would have come into a Dragon Warrior randomizer race? I'll take things that I never thought I'd see for 600, Alex.
Speaking of, all the best wishes out to Mr. Trebek.
Absolutely. That rather heart-wrenching news that we heard yesterday.
One more Scorp. One more Scorp. Thilotilo is one more Scorpion away from reaching the mythical level 2.
And meanwhile, Nightwind's asking, did we start over, or is this seed just this nasty? No, it was not restarted. We are going on the same seed that started some 44 minutes ago.
This slime is not letting Tilo leave, that's for sure.
And the Metal Scorpion is not being friendly to its namesake, Scorpion Max.
Tilo must be seeing that 8 points to the next level and just being like, give me one more thing I could kill.
Well, it was there, and then it disappeared just as quickly.
Ooh, Scorpion. Is this the one? Is this the one? There's 1 damage. Nope, that wasn't the one.
That was definitely an exasperated sigh and then some, that is for sure.
And just so, oh, here's another one. Can Tilo do it? There's 1. Nope. So just for an update kill counter here, Tilo has 4 kills. Scorpion Max has 2. Ryguy has 2. Captain Green has 1. Add up all of those, and you get a grand total of 9. Multiply that by roughly 30, and you have the total kill count of the seed that the monsters have done to them.
That's a rough estimate.
We might be being a little generous.
Yeah, when you smooth it out, it's about 438.
That's smooth?
Now, if I'm right on that, if I go back and watch the restream and I'm right on that, I'm retiring. I don't know.
Is this the one? I can hear Tilo praying to all the RNG gods that Scorpion does not run away. Is this it? No! Oh boy. Oh, one more? Come on, one more. Come on, Tilo, we believe.
Oh, and it runs. A crit on Scorpion Max's end, that gets kill number 3. And kill number 87 by the Knight onto Scorpion Max.
With all this reseed discussion here in chat, we're 48 minutes into the seed. I'm wondering if, other than the, reseed we see up on Max's screen, I wonder if most of the runners right now are thinking, oh crap, one of these guys, because obviously these runners don't know who has and who hasn't requested a reseed. I'm wondering if our runners are thinking, oh crap, one of these runners got to level 2 and it's great and it's fantastic and I'm really behind. I'm wondering if that's going through their minds at this point.
Now that's an interesting question. Can a runner unrequest a seed or reseed?
I wouldn't. I mean, that's obviously a question for one of the tourney admins, but I wouldn't see why not.
At this point, you have to figure that if with these requests, that somebody has not requested it, as all 4 runners would have to request a reseed in order for it to occur. Although, man, 50 minutes in, still looking for our first level.
Maybe this one? One more hit, I think, will do it. I think one more hit kills a scorpion. Come on, you can do it. Yes, got him!
And a crit!
All right, so let's see. What does level 2 hold?
0 power, 10 speed, 8 hit points, 14 MP, and the spell of Stop Spell.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
I don't love it.
That is an abjectly terrible level.
Centroid 41, our tracker, noting a very interesting question. What is the experience to the next level? And we're probably going to find out in just a second here. So 220 is where Tilo is currently at level 2.
Oh, God.
308! Can the commentators request a reseed? I'll take that as a no.
So, should I put on the pot of coffee?
You're better than me. I was busting out the scotch.
Yeah, but we need to stay awake to commentate. We don't... I mean, scotch will just put me to sleep.
Well, it worked for Bob Uecker in Major League.
I kind of feel like Bob Uecker a little bit right now.
Absolutely. Well, I know I joked about it, but it may be more of a reality here. Stay tuned after this seed, as we're going to take this into tomorrow night, and then we'll have the next of our playoff races here on the Randomania Network. And to answer a question in chat, no, the requests for a reseed are not done on SRL to attempt to not give any runners an advantage by knowing who is struggling and who is not. Because if one person doesn't respond, you know that they're obviously well in the lead. So the requests for reseeds are directly messaged or DM'd to either the restreamer, which is what it is in this case, or an arbitrary judge. So that way there's no extra information that is known by any of our runners. And say what you will about Ryguy, there certainly is persistence, as Ryguy is the only one who has not requested a reseed or reroll at this point.
And we have Tilo heading for an herb, maybe? Yep, buying an herb. Oh, Captain Green gets a excellent kill. So now we have Captain Green and Scorpion Max each with... Oh, I'm sorry, that was his second kill. Oy.
However, he does have enough to get a silver shield.
Indeed. Randomania 2, thank you very much for your raid. We really appreciate it. Hope that the Zelda 2 Max Rando race finished up well over there. Welcome to Dragon Warrior Rando, the league race where we are 55 minutes into the seed and one of our racers has one level.
So thankfully, you didn't miss much. It's as if we were waiting for you. And I believe Simple Sarah has put it best in chat. Now, we have an enemy that is easy to kill, but even more easily runs, and does not give a whole lot of experience. It took 5 of them, I believe, to get to level 2. Tilo is our one runner who has gotten to level 2. On the bright side, 3 of our runners have the best shield in the game, as it normally costs 14,800 gold, but in this seed, it is the sale of the seed, as it only costs 49. But yes, the amount of experience required to get to level 2 and level 3, it's a great 188 to level 2, and then I believe 308 on top of the 220, so that's a grand total of 528 if my math is right.
They just start putting it perfectly. Noodle is basically a metal slime for all practical purposes. Yes, if you have to kill 5 metal slimes per level, sure. Adversary, the noodle in this seed is the scorpion. Centroid, could you bring up the scorpion stats on screen for us all to view, if you don't mind, please? Centroid being our wonderful tracker for the night, and Tyrannex being our wonderful restreamer.
Yeah, I think at this point, since that looks to be the pivotal enemy, and given how much we have encountered and seen its running, so it only has 4 attack power. So the fact that our runners started with 9, which is more than double the attack power, is what's causing the enemy to run.
Yep, so those stats are certainly noodle stats, at least the HP and the AP, but that agility and that defensive power just doesn't help at all. The good news is the scorpion only fights, but the bad news is that fight turns very easily into run.
So that high agility means not that you're necessarily going to try to run from them, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to with the 7 agility at level 1 or 17 at level 2. And every attack that you do is going to be a coin flip. So you essentially have to win 5 coin flips and hope that it does not run away before doing so. And that's just to get 44 experience.
Looks like Tilo's taking on a slap fight here against a slime. Why not? Hey, Centroid, how about bringing up the slime stat? Toaster, has anybody tried branching out to find another possible enemy? Yes, they have. And this is, it doesn't go well. This slime is the only other one that's possible. Oh, God. But with an HP of 23, that's not quite so possible.
Yeah, winning 23 coin flips? I don't know.
So that's what, 2 or... there's one of the excellent moves that Tilo needs. Alright, if Tilo can get another one, he might be within range of killing a slime. Maybe. Scorpion picks up a silver shield, so now all 4 of our runners have a silver shield. He gets the... Oh, God.
Tilo takes out the slime, but for 32 experience and 32 gold. Oh. And Simple Sarah noting the pause. I think that pause was just a, you've got to be kidding me. Although I don't think that Tilo...
Meanwhile, we have Scorpion Max within 1 Scorpion kill of level 2, which...
And Amazing Toaster asking, is the Silver Shield the sale of the century? Well, yes. It's normally costing 14,800 gold and only costing 49 gold in this seed. That is definitely the sale of the seed here. And the search spot in coal was the Fairy Flute.
Can you sell the Fairy Flute?
You cannot.
Darn it. And to answer somebody else's question about weapons, we do have a relatively cheap flame sword up in Breckenary, which is absolutely reachable, but nobody can kill enough to get to that point. I believe the flame sword was 152, 157, somewhere around there.
I'm not sure. It feels like Gerald Ford was president the last time we saw it.
Oh, we have a wolf here on Tilo's side, which we haven't seen yet. We actually have not seen a wolf yet at all.
I think I saw a wolf earlier, but this is the first that we've seen a wolf while somebody was equipped with the Silver Shield. And this has been more of a tolerable battle. Oh, and a critical hit on Tilo's side for 6, but it's still not enough.
Tilo committing to this wolf.
Oh, 54.
Oh, and look at the experience for the wolf.
I mean, the gold's nice. It'll be enough to get you a flame sword, but I don't think he's going to survive long enough, and nope.
Well, I'm pretty sure only one of our runners has even seen Breckenary, and I think it was Captain Green? And we have an attorney admin stepping in and demanding a reseed.
So the authority has been delivered and will most certainly be respected. So basically, this seed is going to be thrown out, and we are going to basically pull a new seed and start from scratch in a matter of moments here. In the hopes that this one will not last at least an hour to get things started here.
Okay, we are going through our options right now, and we will have a decision for you, hopefully within the next 2 or 3 minutes, as to what exactly is going on. Given the lateness of the time, especially here on the East Coast, I think there is a possibility that we might actually have to reschedule this match. So let's see what happens.
Well, there's certainly a lot of mixed reactions to chaos, and I think this would be a prime example of what is considered kind of the lesser favored end of chaos. So in the interim, if you want to give this a try yourself here, not necessarily this seed, because who has that kind of time? I assure you there are many, 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 many easier seeds than this. You can download the randomizer on the GitHub link in the Twitch chat. And you can also join the Discord, as there are races that are going on, not necessarily league related, but there are races that are called upon, from what I've seen, in all hours of the day and night and otherwise. So you can check that out on the link there in Twitch chat.
So the option that currently is getting some traction is not doing these flags, but going back to week 2's flags, which is chaos, but we do very fast experience, no keys, and short Sherlock. So that is an option that is getting some traction in the IRC chat that is currently going on.
This is interesting, as I'm not privy to these conversations, and not that they're necessarily meant for public eyes, but it sure is interesting to see how this all is going to go here.
And we have a confirmation from all 4 of our runners. We are going to redo this race right now with week 2 flags.
Now, will it be a different seed?
Yep, they will roll a different seed. So the way this works in IRC is everybody has to quit out of the current race. Then a rematch will be instituted, and then a seed will be rolled.
Yeah, this is not part of the... Well, this is not part of any kind of a standard or anything of that nature. This is merely due to the circumstances of the late time frame, as, yes, over an hour into this seed and very little traction. We don't want to necessarily see a restart with another seed that has more of the same. And next thing you know, we're crossing into the midnight hour and pretty much walking in quicksand. And yes, given that the commentary is, well, both of us commentators here, we jokingly are known behind the scenes as the Keystone Connection, brought to you over here on the East Coast. It's, 2.5 hours on another seed. That, oh goodness, look at these stats.
Here's hoping we have this. Yeah, let's hope that they get a nice little seed here, and like heal more or something along those lines, or hurt more or something.
And Jay Coper asking in chat, what was the situation? So the reseed, well, yeah, there was one person who had gone to level 2, and it would have been another 4 or 5 enemies at least, or actually 7 enemies to get to level 3, and it was an enemy that was running away constantly.
All right, and we have a go in IRC in 10. So now we're just going to wait on Twitch delay, and we will be up and running.
All right, so we're going to pretend the last 75 minutes didn't happen, and here we go with the race for the evening.
Good evening, everybody. I hope All right, so let's see. What do we have here in the throne room this time? We have a cursed belt. That's some gold. Oh, that's right. No keys. That's right. No keys in this. So, Spell of Sleep. All right, so let's see. What do we have here in the treasury? We have fairy water, herb, gold, and the silver harp. Hey, look, they're starting with the silver harp again.
Okay, so to catch up here, the flag sets have been changed here due to the time constraints. And there was an administrator who had made a call. This is supposed to be under standard chaos flags, but with our runners going absolutely nowhere after over an hour, there was a reseed that was done with the runner's permission, but it was an administrator call, just so that way we're not here all night. I know there are some who prefer the 4-hour displays, but we're trying to make things presentable here for the viewing audience.
So Tilo doing a cave in the dark. Not 100% sure what this cave is yet. Possibly, maybe finding a noodle-ish enemy? Based on the way he's kind of walking, it's either the grave or the mountain cave.
And I think based on the way Captain Green is moving, I think it would be Garen's grave.
Indeed, it is Garen's grave, and he finds an instant gold grind in Garen's grave.
Now, was that the first of the 3 treasure chests?
Yes, this is the first of the 3. Yep. So the question is, where do you stop? I mean, kind of seems like 20,000 would probably be enough.
Well, it's a challenge on a number of facets, as you don't know if there's a nearby town necessarily. Wow, 2 levels over on Scorpion's side.
Hey, mind if I butt in real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is just an update. I'm High Spirits, part of the admin team, and we decided after we saw level 2 was more than 300 experience away, we saw that the the slime gave 30 experience, and then we saw the wolf had 54 health. That was enough to call admin. I made the call to reseed, even though the rules specifically say all 4 must reseed. But Ryguy didn't know that. He even mentioned that, so we made sure everyone knows it this time. And that's why we are at this point. We asked all the runners if they wanted to do week 2 flags. They all agreed, because they didn't want to do week 1 or this week's flags again after being at it for over an hour. And we're at this point, so I'm going to hand it back off to you, and thank you very much.
All right, so we did have Scorpion Max finding the Staff of Rain cave just north of town. Oh, hello! Ryguy gets level 3.
Yeah, only 44 experience to get from level 1 to level 3. And then another 62, so wow. 4 levels in this particular seed to get to, 4 levels in just a little over 100 experience versus the, 188 to get from level 1 to level 2 in that other seed?
Yeah. And then it's another 60 after this, it looks like, to level 3. Or, I'm sorry, to level 4.
So the gold man being worked on by both Scorpion and Tilo, as Ryguy picking up the Staff of Rain.
And there's the gold man down. 7 power, 9 speed, 27 hit points, so he also gets to level 3. It's still only sleep. Okay, we have 3 of her 4 runners already at level 3. Stats significantly better. So now it's just a matter of finding things on the overworld. Scorpion kills another gold man.
And we saw Metal Slimes had the spell of Hurt.
Yep, it does look like Captain Green is starting a new file. Letter J is still strength HP. Captain Green setting up a grind here, I think for herbs. I'm pretty sure this is an herb grind. Oh, and a gold grind.
Yeah, both able to be done here. Now, some are probably wondering, those who haven't seen this before, how are they able to keep taking the chest over and over again? Well, treasure chests respawn every time you go to the overworld map, but due to the programming limits at the time the game was made, the game only tracks up to 8 chests as opened. Every chest opened beyond the 8 chests can be taken over and over again. Now, in this case, the 3 treasure chests from the opening of the throne room, that counts as 3. Once you leave the throne room and go back into it, those chests are automatically marked as open, so you don't take them over and over again. So that adds up to 6. And then when you open 2 chests in the treasury, the 3rd and 4th chest you can take over and over again. And in this case, there's a little bit of a tech glitch as well, as it looks to either the last item that was taken, or, well, if you fought an enemy, it sometimes creates some random text, and that's why it said that you had found the silver harp over and over again.
And it looks like Tilo is trying to out-battle a Wraith Knight. It's an excellent move. Is this going to be enough to put it down? It does. And 18 experience. Nah, that ain't very good. Alright, so let's see what we have out and about here.
Tilo with the very even stat of gold, 55-55.
And we have level 4 for Max, or at least level 4. 13 power, 12, okay, really nice levels. Oh, that's level 5. And the spell of Hurt.
That will be helpful.
Well, yep, and the golem goes down to a few hertz. Ooh, nice experience gain there, but does not get to next level.
So it looks like it'll be at least somewhat of a bit to get to level 6.
And unless my eyes doth deceive me, this is Swamp South over here by Tangil Castle. It looks like Tilo's going to get the hero run to Swamp North, and on the other side of a swamp he goes.
To find a fairly hard-hitting Magi Wyvern he's able to sleep run from. The skeleton, not so much.
Level 6 on Max's side with a new spell of Hurt More.
Oh, bingo.
All right, so go ahead.
For just fights, you can cast it and it'll do anywhere from 58 to 65 hit points of damage, and just like that, vaulting up to level 8 with a cast on one enemy.
Yep, this seed has now busted wide open for Max. So now the question's going to become, at what point does Max say, all right, I have enough levels? Two Hurtmores take down a Wyvern for 236 experience. That's really nice.
And now just going to attack and take the Death Warp here out of resources. And it looks like the other two chests in the top of the grave were wings and fairy water, as Ryguy confirming.
So south of the swamp here is a desert. Let's see if there's a town or anything. Could this, over here by this desert. Wolf Lord attacks. Reasonable. We have Scorpion Max entering what we know to be Swamp South.
And confirming it there with Radiant.
Tilo has a gold man asleep and is just chipping away at it. And Tilo getting, I believe this will take him to level 4. So Hurt is definitely at level 5, Hurt more at level 6.
Oh, and Scorpion's progress stopped by a fire-breathing magician.
Ooh, Axe Knights with Hurt more. Scorpion Max testing a Metal Scorpion. 1 Hurt more does the trick. 88 experience, not too bad, and looks like at least a level. This is definitely 1 level, level 9.
1, 1, 5, and 4 on those stats. Yeah, rather paltry.
Ooh, 1 Hurtmore does not take out a Magidraki.
But the second does for 91. And a huge experience lead now for Scorpion. Over 1,000 more than the next competitor.
Green Dragon does not go down to 1 Hurt more. Doesn't hit very hard, but has a bunch of HP.
And has the spell of Stop Spell, which was hit on Scorpion. So having to just chip away at it with fists.
Yeah, we haven't seen a town yet in this seed. And the green dragon ran away after all that.
And Hurtmore taking out a Demon Knight for triple-digit experience. And here comes level 10 at least. Ooh. No, just level 10, but nice double-digit gains in strength and agility.
And we have Thilo taking on a wizard here. Might actually take this wizard down. Maybe. Thilo's still chipping away at this wizard. Scorpion Max heading down to what we know to be the grave of Garen.
Thilo still chipping away at the wizard, down to the last bit of resources, and it's not enough.
Ryguy and Captain Green still struggling a little bit here to get off of level 3 and 1 respectively.
It's amazing how there's almost a glass cannon effect going on as you have all this potency does Scorpion with the hurt and hurt more spells, but no way to heal really.
Ugh, those wraiths take two hurt Mars and give 10 experience. And Captain Green hits level 3.
And Scorpion, meanwhile, going to head deeper into Garen's grave. Already getting the top 3 treasure chests. 2 more still to find.
Oh, Thilo takes out a golem for 167, and we'll get to at least level 5 here, if not 6. This just looks like level 5, but we'll get the hurt spell. Looks like Max gets to level 11 at least.
Nice strength and hit point gains and 0 MP to the delight of Empty Eye. And Axe Knight using the Hurt More spell, it is not going to let Scorpion get deep into the grave, so we know that the upper levels have gold, fairy water, and wings, and then the mid-level has some more gold, but the deep part of the grave is still a mystery.
Thilo taking out another golem, which should, this will get him to level 6, and the Hurt More spell. We have Ryguy at level 4.
Hey, remember in that last seed when 440 experience would have barely been enough to get to level 3?
Would it even have been enough? Yeah, it would have been. No, it wouldn't, right? Because the first one was at 180 and the next one is 300 past it. So they would have needed 500 experience to get to level 3.
I knew it was in the upper 400s or lower 500s.
Hey, we have a town on Ryguy's side.
That doggone seed.
We have a town on Ryguy side. We have a 1 gold large shield and a 2 gold chainmail.
Those are some pretty good buys, and now we've got 3 more treasure chests to access here, including a cursed belt, wings, and some big bucks.
So with 2 cursed belts and gold in the back of Garanham, you can actually kind of do a mini grind here. Just go in and out, grab cursed belts and gold, and just sell the cursed belts and, get some decent stuff here. Right? Because it looks like broadsword for 2,700. That's not going to take long.
Yeah, not ideal given that it's almost double the vanilla price.
Scorpion Max gets up to 13 and still doesn't know a heal spell. We have Tilo up to level 7.
And Ryguy has also found Garanham.
Scorpion Max still kind of searching around for something, not finding much. Tilo just battling away. Taking out a wizard. And it does look like Ryguy is going to do what we call a quote-unquote ghetto grind by going in and out of Garanham to get gold and I would imagine the cursed belt.
Yeah, I was initially looking at the club as a possibility and seeing that it only gave an additional 4 attack power. Thought, I'll just go ahead and grind up to get that broadsword, as 20 attack power is certainly better than 4.
Scorpion Max finding Sherlock. Tilo needing 69 experience points to get to the next level. Scorpion has laid eyes on a town. What town is this? This is Rimeldar, Key Town. Of course, keys are useless in the seed, but it's still Key Town.
Yeah, it's a little anticlimactic in a seed of this nature with the added keyless strats, thanks to the fact that this started an hour and 40 minutes ago, but we had to reset the seed as of 75 minutes in with minimal progress.
And here in Rimeldar, what do we have? We have really expensive hand axe and leather armor and half plate that ain't cheap. So
we have
Scorpion Max,
we have everything in Rimeldar that ain't cheap.
But decides to put on some clothes, so he's at least decent now. And we have the jerk underneath Garanham.
Yes, the Rainbow Drop Cave, otherwise known as the Jerk Cave. The old man in the cave will collect the 3 items that are needed: the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. And if you have all those 3, you'll acquire the Rainbow Drop, which will allow you to cross over into Charlotte Castle. And if you don't have the items, most specifically Erdrick's Token, he will kick you out of the cave like the jerk that he is.
Star Wyvern not going down to 1 hurt more. 121 experience for his trouble, though.
Only slightly earned.
2 Hurtmores does not take down a werewolf. Red Dragons have a nice experience in going down to 1 Hurtmore.
And we have a Stones of Sunlight pickup on Max's side. I believe that was inside of Rimeldar.
Indeed.
In the double doors.
Indeed. So it's a good thing no keys were needed. Nice, easy to obtain. We have Scorpion Max here in a cave. Not sure what cave this is. Swamp Cave.
And level 13 with triple-digit hit points. Something you like to see.
Scorpion finding the town of Hawksness, but just decides, you know what, I don't have much HP. But let's give it a try anyways.
Yeah, figuring that there's going to be imminent death anyway, why not at least attempt to see what the guardian item is in the abandoned town of Hawksness?
Well, now unless he has an herb, he can't.
Oh, wow. And just realizing, no way to heal and going to be one step short.
Is he just going to go for a death warp? Nope, he's trucking along. Ryguy has made it to level 7 and is back in Garenham. Green has made it to level 5 and that wonderful hurt spell. And it looks like Tilo is just about to go into what we know to be Garenham. And Scorpion Max finding the town of Breckenary.
Which in Chaos is much... it's much less disheartening.
Yes, it still has the very cheap inn and may have some really cheap equipment.
And Amazing Toaster, thank you for getting your Maxwell Smart in there and noting that in terms of trying to find the enemy at Hawksness, that they had missed it by that much.
That's actually a really nice impression.
Oh, thank you.
Tilo finding Garenham and picking up that nice cheap chainmail and large shield. So let's see what we have here in Breckenary. Anything good?
1 gold copper sword.
That's certainly worth it.
A lot better than the 180 gold that it would normally cost in the game.
All right, so now I bet you Max goes straight back to Hawksness. Tilo maxing out on herbs. Meanwhile, Captain Green stumbling into Hawksness. Has enough HP, but does not have the Hurt More spell yet. And here we go. It is a Wolf Lord here. And it ran away. And we have Token here in Hawksness.
So that confirms that Erdrick's armor is going to be somewhere on the overworld, I believe. Or, no, the Fairy Flute was in the previous seed. I thought I crossed that out. It could be in Cole, too. I got the stuff in the beginning, but I forgot that we found coal early on in that seed that we want to forget about.
Which seed?
Exactly.
And Tilo going to go to the bottom of Urk. And Scorpion Max reaches level 16 and gets all the spells. We have a town kind of buried in the swamp over by Hawksness. We haven't seen Cole and we haven't seen Cantlin, so it's going to be one of these two.
Cole!
So let's see, what do we have here in the... Oh, he's going to check the shop first.
Not a bad small shield.
But I do believe the flame sword has actually rolled higher than normal. And there's the armor.
So we either have the Fairy Flute in an overworld search spot or in a treasure chest. Not that that's really ideal for any of our runners here.
And Scorpion finding another cave, which is going to be... This is... Grave? No, this is the Tablet Cave.
So access to one treasure chest. As Tilo now getting to level 12. Level 6 for Captain Green.
And level 9 for Ryguy. Now take a look at Scorpion Max's stats here. HP and MP are certainly well within Dragon Lord 2 range. Agility, kind of stinks, but it's fine. And strength is darn near Dragon Lord range. So really what we're looking for here is now the... We're looking for Erdrick's sword, and we're looking for that other thing we have to find. That isn't the token. Wait, we have everything. So it's the sword that we're only looking for.
The sword and maybe a little more power and agility.
I'm trying to think, what is Scorpion missing? Because he got the stones out of Rimeldar. He got the token out of Hawksnest. And he got the Staff of Rain super early in the seed. So the only thing he's probably looking for is the Mountain Cave, which has those 5 chests, one of which may well be the sword.
At this point, the overworld items that, or the overworld treasure chests that have not yet been found, there's one deep in Garen's grave that none of our runners have gotten to yet. There are the 5 in the Mountain Cave, and I believe 1 in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave that have not been accessed.
Oh, there's power, and there's speed. Oh my god, look at those levels. Good god, up to level 29. And there is Cantlin, and... That's the Mountain Cave, because we have the Fighter's Ring in the Stones of Sunlight Cave.
29? Must have been a 29 game, but we're at level 19 for Scorpion Max.
Okay, so now it's down to these 4 chests here in the second floor of the mountain cave. What are we going to find here? And there's the sword. Sword is in the mountain cave. So about now, the only thing that Scorpion Max can hope to find is right on the overworld, right outside here, should be Cantlin. We haven't seen a silver shield yet, so if there is one, it's going to be in Cantlin. So I wonder what Scorpion Max is still digging for here.
Perhaps the death necklace?
Perhaps.
I mean, with 157 hit points, certainly doesn't hurt to have it.
Very, very true.
As once you put it on, you get an additional 10 attack power, but it comes at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit points. So that would still put him up in the 100 teens and a 1 gold large shield. Nice upgrade in Cantlin.
All right, but I'm sure he's going to go looking for that silver shield, which may or may not be here. So, 1 store left to find in the game. If the silver shield isn't here, then I don't think we have a silver shield.
Oh, there it is. 53-15.
So I guess the question then becomes, I mean, does Scorpion Max think to grind for it because he'd have to grind for it on enemies, or is it just, nah, screw it, I'm good with the large shield? So it looks like now pretty much everybody's on a roll here in this particular seed. Now, can they catch Max? Max is significantly ahead at this point in time. Question, I guess, now is, what is Max looking for? Tilo finding Rimmeldarn, just about to find his Stones of Sun.
Is it possible that Max might be trying to find Charlotte Castle?
Max, I thought, was the first one to see Charlotte Castle. But chat pointing out that he might not have found Garenham. But I think he's just about to. I think Garenham is down this way. That is.
And what a time to find it is in the back of Garenham is the Rainbow Drop Cave.
And I'm pretty... And given how he's just beelining toward the back, I'm pretty sure he knows that it's going to be there. Although he hasn't seen the Vanilla Stones cave, so...
Yeah, perhaps is thinking that, well, I'm still looking for the death necklace. The fighter's ring certainly wouldn't hurt, but otherwise, I've got just about everything else that I've need.
So there's a 6 out of 7 chance that, or well, 7 out of 8, 7 out of 8 chance that the death necklace is in Sherlock itself.
Just 87.5%. Not too bad odds.
Tilo doing a drive-by of Sherlock before getting whacked by a Magiwyvern.
Would that be a flyby in the Magiwyvern's case?
Yeah, it actually would be. It's actually really refreshing to see that Scorpion Max is at level 19 and has all of 4,900 experience points. I'm sorry, 4,400 experience points.
Yeah, it's definitely refreshing. It's the antithesis of the grind that you're used to when associating yourself with this game.
All right, so Scorpion Max going into Sherlock. So given that this is a short Sherlock, hey, look, we're in the bottom of Sherlock. He's definitely looking for that cursed belt here. No doubt about it.
Yeah, the death necklace will definitely be held here.
Oh, but this Warlock's not going to let him pass easily. Might be better off just trying to whack it to death. Jeez, Warlocks have a bunch of HP. There we go. All that for 26.
Oh, is that all?
Gold. Gold. Torch. 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 All of the torches must burn down Sherlock. Well, missed that, but I don't think it was the death necklace, because he's now checking out the vanilla chest. And so, the death necklace is in the bottom of Garen's grave. Toaster, not just somewhere in the grave, it is absolutely positively the bottom chest in the grave, because we have seen the top 4. Alright, so we have Ryguy, who is currently looking for both Hawksness and Rimuldar. We have Tilo, who needs to find Hawksness, and Green needs to find Experience, and Stones and Token.
Just a couple things.
Oh, there's Tilo stumbling into Hawksness. Now, Tilo does not yet have any healing, I don't think. I don't think 14 gives healing. But I do know 15 and 16 are very close together. So we shall see if he can take out the Warlock, or if the Warlock just runs from Tilo as well. Oh, Wolf Lord, I'm sorry. Speaking of Wolf Lords, there's one in Sherlock. And the Sherlock mini-boss is a Droll Magi.
Which doesn't look to be hitting that hard. I mean, it has stop spell, but That is negated by Erdrick's armor, the best armor in the game.
And Tilo finding the token. Ryguy at level 15. And about to stumble into Hawksness himself.
And we've got fire-breathing stone men.
Fantastic. That actually hurt decently. And have sleep. Uh-oh. Okay, and the stone man is asleep. Enabling an easy run for Scorpion Max. So, if any of you have watched any of the Chaos Seeds so far in this particular league, you know that the one thing here is going to be how bad is Dragon Lord 1? Because Dragon Lord 1 can actually be the boss. 5 damage.
Oh boy.
And sleep. And Dragon Lord 2 breath.
2 breath. The Wombo combo from Dragon Lord 1.
So, this Dragon Lord 1 is a jerk.
And hits kind of hard, too.
Oh, God! Oh, my.
Well, not going anywhere for a while. Grab your favorite copyrighted candy bar.
Only 12-17 to the next level. As our wonderful restreamer Tyrannex says in chat, sleeping for work is overrated.
Yes, and happy Friday to those of you on the East Coast, Eastern Time Zone, as it is just past midnight. And we are definitely feeling it.
Uh-oh. Tyrannex looked up DL1 and says, oh my good God, I don't even want to show this. All right. You know, Tyrannex, you got to show us at this point, bud.
But he said he doesn't want it. Oh.
Oh.
So it has Sleep and Dragon Lord 2 breath. Its resistance to stop spell is 13 out of 16. That's a little over 80%. Like 81%, something along those lines. It has maximum agility.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to physically damage the Dragon Lord, really. So you're going to have to rely on Hurt Morris to get you through the fight. But it's going to be, what, 4 Hurt Morris to get through that fight? And it's roughly 50% whether it lands. Which, you know, means in RNG terms it's 75% that you miss. Oy.
Well, it's got 185 hit points, so that is, 3, maybe 4 if you roll high on them. Or strike that reverse at 4, maybe 3 if you roll high on them.
Queen Bree will wait to see DL2 until we actually see DL2 on screen. Meanwhile, Tilo has picked up his Rainbow Drop and has gotten to level 16, as has Ryguy. And here we go. Part 2, fight. So, basically, you need to land a stop spell, and you need to land sleep repeatedly. No effect, no effect, no effect. Oh, God. Thou art still asleep. Thou art still asleep. Z awakes. And stop spell does not land. Oh, finally, he gets it to land and survives.
Well, it's a good thing Z's awake, because I art still asleep.
Oh my God, this is not pleasant. And it's whiffed his first 2 Hurtmores because RNG. The stop spell resistance is 13 out of 16. That's ridiculous. And Hurtmore resistance is 7 out of 16, yet he hasn't landed a Hurtmore. Oh, there's the first.
That's a lot of coin flips to lose.
All right, 1 more Hurtmore should do it.
But it leaves him with just 5 Healmores for Dragon Lord 2.
And an HP of 44 to start. All right, let's see what we got here. There's 18. Gets a double attack for 33. All right, so DL2 doesn't look too bad. Just pretty standard stuff, it looks like, for now.
So we're at 52. $71, having to use another Healmore down to the last one. Oh, and a low roll there, and up to 82. So hoping that it's at the bare minimum here. 94. Last attack. It's not quite going to be enough.
Oh, but it is a low. So it is a low HP Dragon Lord, 123. But nothing real bad to this guy. So certainly doable. So DL1 is definitely the main boss here. I was just going to say, don't go for it. Don't go for that death necklace. That death necklace isn't going to help you in this seed. You want all the HP you can muster. And we have Ryguy finding Caitlin. Now I did see Tilo using the rainbow drop to actually form the bridge, but it looks like he's still hunting for his Erdrick sword. Ryguy is just about to find the mountain cave, which has Erdrick sword. CaptainGreen7 has made his way to level 14.
And Scorpion right back into Sharlock.
And according to our wonderful tracker, Ryguy has found Erdrick's armor. And meanwhile, Ryguy getting to level 18. Or 19, I'm sorry.
Well, 18 and 19. Those are the combos that you want to see as a Dragon Warrior randomizer runner.
CaptainGreen7 also having Erdrick's armor, it appears. And of course, nobody has enough money for the silver shield. And he's about to go get his Erdrick sword out of the mountain cave, which is just north. Ryguy finding his Erdrick sword and noping out. And given his pathing, he's beelining it straight toward Garenham. Tilo hitting 19. So the only difference between Tilo and Ryguy right now is that Tilo doesn't have Erdrick sword. He has not seen Cantland. He has not seen the mountain cave. Green about to get his sword out of the mountain cave. And this Warlock being an absolute jerk to Max. Burns a heal more to try to get past it.
Running from chaos enemies in Sherlock, not usually the best idea.
Thou art a fool for taking on Dragon Lord 1 again. Ooh, gets it on the third attempt. So let's see how many attempts it takes for him to hurt more, the Dragon Lord. Okay, and Ryguy is right here on Scorpion Max's heels, about to enter Sherlock himself. Captain Green finding level 15. Alright, so Scorpion Max into Dragon Lord 2 here with a few more heal mores than he had last time. So as long as Scorpion doesn't roll too low, he could be able to take this down. Tilo finding Cole and the Erdrick's armor. Ryguy having trouble with the Warlock, as many of our runners are. Max down to 2 more heal mores. Can he get the Dragon Lord down? Got him. All right, and Scorpion Max heading up to the king. And ladies and gentlemen, Scorpion Max has finished in first place in this with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 24 seconds. Well done. Scorpion Max will advance out of this group into the next group, which saw Game Boy F9 and Amazing Toaster win place first and second in that race. And I have extended the invitation to Scorpion Max to come join us here in Discord. We have Ryguy now taking on Dragon Lord 1. I don't think he's seen sleep yet. Oh, and he gets the Dragon Lord 1 down with plenty of HP. Or MP, I should say. So this should be a relatively easy fight for Ryguy. Meanwhile, we have Tilo finding the mountain cave and will shortly get his Erdrick. And here is Tilo picking up his Erdrick sword. And he's probably going to go to the inn in Cantlin and then boogie back to the castle. Scorpion Max popping into chat to say that he's going to skip the interview due to the lateness of the time. Well done. And well done to Rob. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ryguy has finished in second place in the seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 2 seconds, roughly 2.5 minutes behind Scorpion Max. So, Ryguy and Scorpion Max will move on to the next round to join a group that includes Game Boy F9 and Amazing Toaster. And I have indeed extended an invitation to Ryguy and Captain Green, who has unfortunately forfeited from this race, unfortunately. I imagine the time has a lot to do with that. And frankly, I can't blame him. And with that chime, I am joined by CaptainGreen7. Captain, oh, what a night, huh?
Yeah, and I'll make sure not to take too much time if Ryguy joins, but I just wasn't feeling it very much after that first one. I thought I was good to go another one, but not so much.
Yeah, the big issue, it seemed like you really kind of struggled finding that the quote-unquote wet noodle there at the beginning of.
Yeah, I was trying to find a town to dump all my gold. And I probably spent too much time doing that, and then I finally found the gold man, and it took me a while to get 3 kills on it for the good level.
Yeah, and then, well, once you get to like level 5 in that hurt spell, then the seed really opened up, and then one level past that was hurt more at 6. So, but yeah, unfortunately, finding that gold man took you a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I felt pretty far behind at that point. But
So-
I was gonna keep going until 2 people were finished for sure. But
No, absolutely.
once
I think that makes perfect. Especially given the hour, it makes perfect sense to go until the first 2 finish, and then, since only the top 2 advance. But yeah, hey, you had a really good showing in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, making top 16 was better than I had hoped. So I'm very glad to have made it as far as I did, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryguy joins us in chat. Ryguy, congratulations. Nice.
Thank you.
So, interesting night, huh?
That first seed scared me so much.
So, I just want to kind of point something out here to you that Scorpion Max actually had to do that fight, the last fight, Dragonlord 1 and 2, I believe 3 times. Because Dragonlord 1 had Sleep, it had Dragonlord 2 Breath, it had 13 out of 16 Stop Spell Resistance, and it had 7 out of 16 Hurt More Resistance.
It had 7 out of 16 hurt more resistance. Didn't I land 3 in a row?
You landed 3 in a row.
Huh, that's
And
probably pretty good.
Yeah, you didn't see Sleep, and I don't think you saw the Dragonlord 2 Breath.
I think I saw the breath, but I don't think I saw any of the rest of the stuff.
Okay, yeah. That Dragonlord 1 was a jerk.
I did notice he took 3 hurt mores to kill. So he had a ton of HP also.
Yeah, and then Dragonlord 2 had none.
Well, that time I got through DL1, the second one was... I had plenty of resource for the second.
Yeah, DL2 had DL1 had 180 something, DL2 had 120 something.
So the real boss was DL1.
Absolutely. But regardless of how that that seed we will never ever mention ever again went, you have to feel pretty good about how you played the second one.
Yeah, the second one went much better than the first one. I didn't realize... I was looking in the race room and I didn't see anyone request a reroll, and I thought I was like an hour behind everyone else. I was pretty bummed out.
So what are your thoughts about joining Max, Game Boy F9, and Amazing Toaster in the next group?
I mean, like I said, after that first one, I thought I was pretty much done. I thought I was like an hour behind everyone. There was no chance. So, I mean, when I signed up for this thing, I was going to be happy if I accidentally made the playoffs. And now somehow I'm apparently in the top 8. Like, that's pretty awesome. I don't know. That's way more than I was ever expecting.
Yeah, I gotta say, very well done to both of you. Do any of you, either one of you two, have any more comments on the seed as we watch Thilotilo wrap up here, hopefully fighting Dragonlord 1?
I'll just say thanks everyone for sticking with us, because I know it's probably later than everyone is expecting. Much appreciated for that, to the whole broadcast team. And yeah, like I said before, I had a blast in the league play. I think it was an awesome idea, and I'll definitely look forward to joining another one, probably after the tournament this summer. But I had a lot of fun, so thanks everyone.
Yeah, GG's Green. You had some really good races. I know I commentated the last one last week. That was a really great race, so glad to have you in.
Yeah, GG's, and good luck for sure in the next round.
Thank you.
All right, and Tilo finding the sleep spell that the Dragonlord 1 has, and unfortunately getting wrecked. All right, Thilotilo heading back into Sharlock for his next dive down. Our wonderful tracker. Centroid has put up the stats on the Warlock. Only 193 agility. That's not too bad. Or our wonderful restreamer Tyrannex doing that. All right, so now we have Thilotilo going up against the Dragon Lord again. Let's see what. And Tilo taking out the Dragon Lord 1 in relatively easy fashion, and now should have a relatively free Dragon Lord 2 fight. Now the question is, does he try to stop spell the Dragon Lord 2 just for safety, or nah, he's just gonna wail away on it. Yep, seems like a pretty standard, straightforward fight here for Thilotilo. Just doing the attack, heal more, attack. You know, sometimes he gets the doubles in, which is great. But slow and steady will take care of this race for Tilo. And there we go. The Dragon Lord is indeed down, and Thilotilo is about to talk to the king. And ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs. Thilotilo has finished in third place in the seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 44 seconds. So while we wait for Thilotilo to join us here in chat, just want to remind you all that we have our Group A race here in the round of 16 in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer League tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here again on Randomania. And Group A consists of High Spirits, Bryself, Melee Wizard, and Shubinator. So that should be a very good race to come watch tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then yet to be scheduled still is our Group B, consisting of Jackamus Wedge, Beta Strep, Will Wagner Music, and Jay Coper. So we got two very good matches coming up, in the next few days here on Randomania. So make sure you all come back now. Once we get Thilotilo in, we'll interview him a little bit and then head out for the night. And with that, we do have Thilotilo joining us in chat. Nicely done, man. Nicely done.
Thank you.
So, what are your comments about this night here?
Well, I'm happy to know that I was ahead at the end of the first race. I'm not surprised I lost this one. I ended up doing too much exploration early when there were a lot of easy levels to be gained, and I think that probably set me behind experience-wise. Although I will say, with everybody finishing so fast, I was not expecting the Dragon Lord to be as nasty, or the Dragon Lord 1 to be as nasty as he was. So that took me off guard. But all in all, I'm glad the night is over. This was a late start time for me as it is, so this is well past my bedtime at this point.
I think for anybody on the East Coast, it's probably well past their bedtime, unfortunately.
I do want to say, just because I am mildly proud of this, that one of the reasons I think I got ahead in the first race is because I figured out. I actually used RNG manipulation to figure out where to force scorpions. After a couple of cycles, I started noticing I was running into knights in the same place, and so I started delaying where I was moving and whatever. And then when I realized I was getting scorpions in the same place at a certain one, I was actually able to rig it so that I was running into scorpions every time. And if you were watching, you might have noticed I had a whole lot of extra encounters with scorpions. So that's my first attempt at it, but I started noticing the patterns and was able to manipulate that into getting enough scorpions to get to level 2.
Yeah, and then once we saw that level 2 to 3 was 300 some experience, we're like, ugh.
Yeah, my heart broke a little at that point. And the 0 strength gain just on top of that was just, it was soul crushing, especially since we hadn't reseeded at that point. I was like, what on earth has someone done to get ahead of me?
Yeah, well, we were kind of speculating on stream here that you all were kind of in the mindset that, oh my God, somebody else has busted through this seed and I'm really behind. And we had a hunch that all 4 of you were thinking that. And it's like, okay, well, this is great.
And the IRC chat, it was confirmation that all 4 of us were thinking that.
Yes, I noticed that. And then this seed was actually pretty darn straightforward. Yeah, and as you mentioned, you did unfortunately do a lot of exploration, but this seed was actually pretty nice and pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah, it was after I killed my first gold man and immediately went to level 2. I was like, all right, I can get behind this. It was a very friendly chaos seed, very very nice palate cleanser after that first one.
Yeah, no kidding. I gotta say it was very nice watching and calling a few of your matches here in this tournament. Unfortunately, you're not going to move on to the next round, but you performed very well in this tournament, and I'm happy to have watched you and called a few of your.
Well, I have had a lot of fun with this, and I kind of want to give a shout out to all the tournament organizers, or all the league organizers, that I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I've enjoyed mixing it up every week, having different flag sets, making you think in different ways than you ordinarily would. The way that having no keys or having short Sherlock, or of course the week 4 with the vanilla map and everything, just all of them make you think in different ways and plan differently. I really enjoyed that, and I'm kind of disappointed that probably from here on out, most races are just going to be standard flags. I enjoy standard flags, but I've also really enjoyed everything being shuffled around here, and so I'm just major props to the tournament organizers for coming up with this.
Yeah, indeed. This has been a really fun event to watch and to commentate. So I got to echo everything you said there. So, any final comments before we sign off for the?
I just want to, thank you guys for commentating. Thank you, Tyrannex, for the restream, Centroid for tracking, and just thank you for everybody who worked hard behind the scenes throughout this whole tournament. I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to watching the last, I think, 6 races we have in this thing.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. All right. So once again, if you haven't already, please go to these runners' channels: Scorpion Max, Thilotilo, Ryguy3745, and CaptainGreen7, and make sure you give these guys a follow. They're great to watch, and they certainly deserve your eyeballs. Thank you to our behind-the-scenes crew here of Tyrannex, who did our restreaming, and Centroid41, who did our tracking. For my co-commentator, for Ron Burgundy, I'm Z-Man 050778. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night.